So, I was on the UFC website the other day, just double checking my suspicions that this weekend had no event on and would be quite boring. And I'm scrolling that shit, and can you tell me why there's one fucking title fight announced? I mean, two if we're gonna count interim belts, but they're on the same card, so that doesn't really matter. So, where the fuck have all the champions gone? No, but seriously, it feels like all the divisions are just being put on ice while the UFC's print out these fucking bog standard Apex cards that, if I'm gonna be real, no one gives a fucking shit about except these diehard fans. Like, they're just spawning in fucking names to fill these cards up. And okay, I'm probably too casual, okay, and I don't know ball and don't know who these guys are, but actual fucking random NPCs half the time. But anyway. Daniel and Hunter seem incapable of doing this, so I'm gonna try my hand at matchmaking today and match these chuckle fucks up. So let's start with the flyweight division and we'll go from there. All right. To be fair to Joshua Van, he is literally just coming off of a sensational performance against Tatsuro Taira, where he did showcase not only his ability to survive the submissions, but also to then get up against high-level wrestlers and grapplers, and then put fucking heat on the guy, and then, oh, managing that TKO, that was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. But yeah, this makes this matchmaking that I'm about to pair up pretty fucking interesting because of course the next logical fight for Joshua Van would have to be the rematch against Alexandra Pantoja. I mean, their first fight did end pretty fucking abruptly with the freak arm incident or shoulder or I don't actually know what the fuck it was, bro. They kept saying different shit, but all I know is I was fucking crashing the fuck out when it happened. But yeah, anyway, originally going into the fight, people thought Pantoja would just bulldoze through Van. They think Pantoja would just take him down, sub him, and oh, after his most recent defense though, I think going into the into the second fight, this narrative is going to be pretty fucking different now because Van can defend. He can scramble back to favorable positions and then put fucking hands on people. So the real question is, can he now do this against someone who people were starting to call the GOAT of the flyweight division? Now, I'm probably a little bit biased. In fact, I'm incredibly biased. Bro walked out to many men in his fight against Kaikara France, and Pantoja had a fan for life. But yeah, I think Pantoja is going to reclaim his belt in this fight. Yes, we did see Van scramble and survive Tyra, but there's a reason Tyra wasn't champ and Pantoja was. I just think Pantoja is just levels above Van in the grappling still, and above Tatsuro Tyra for that matter, because we saw him not be able to implement it to the fullest extent. But anyway, we've seen Pantoja, and what he does is he just bulldozes you, fucking takes you back, and subs you out cold if you don't tap. Now, in Van's defense, I don't think it's going to be as much as a massacre as I thought previously, but man, Pantoja is just so good. I think he's just going to be able to survive on the feet as well. He might get stung a bit, but Pantoja has hands as well, He has good kicks as well. As long as he doesn't throw that high kick and fall over and break his arm again, we'll be all good. But I just think he's going to be eventually be able to find the takedown and he'll control Van on the ground. Especially as we saw Van's main way of getting up was his butterfly guard. I feel like Pantoja can game plan for this now. And then he'll be able to cancel that out and eventually find his rear naked choke for the victory. Next up, we're the bantamweight division, with the champion Peter Yan. Now, this is a pretty easy section, alright? So let's just get Eamon Zahabi out the White House card, subbing Yan, and then we got the totally deserved title fight of Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan too. But no, seriously, okay? If we look at the top of the division, there's really only two options that aren't booked right now. That being either Merab Dvalishvili or Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, I think the most likely thing to happen here will be Merab and Yan get rebooked for the trilogy. Merab was such an active champion last year, fighting almost 4 times, I think it was. And him and Yan are already now one apiece going into this third fight. So I think Merab definitely is the more deserving title shot here. But Umar should go out there, get one more win in the meantime, and I think then he's definitely next in line. As for how the fight goes, man, Yan is a fucking computer, man. He's downloading that data from the first fight, and he put that shit into use in the second one, and now he's a third chance to put on a clinic. Yan did say that he had his hand broken in the first fight, hence why Marab was able to manhandle him so easily, quite frankly. But It really did look like that in the rematch because Jan was putting shit. He was putting shit on Marav's face. It was crazy, but it's just a shutout performance. uh, the body work that Jan did as well with the kicks to the body, man, he was making Marab just fucking yell. But anyway, this time I think Jan's gonna finish him. I don't really see how Marab is going to be able to improve in such a short span of time to overcome Jan's ability to deny his takedown and then beat the shit out of him on the feet. And those elbows to the forearm arms by Jan, man, they were actually pretty crafty, you know. They did seem to fuck up Marab's grip and his ability to then get the takedown. But yeah, I think Jan's going to come back looking sharp as ever, pick Marab apart on the feet, stuff all the takedowns, all while working that body again until he can finally, in round three, break Marab to the body, and I think he'll get a finish against the cage. Moving up now to featherweight, there's really only one name that should be up next. It should be Mozart Evloev. I mean, the guy's undefeated. He's 20 and 0, and he has just beat one of the top contenders in Lerone Murphy. Saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC just say fuck it and book Volk Lopez free, but I don't fucking know. But actually, they could book Gene Silver. That wouldn't be crazy as well, because that guy is saying that he thinks he's next up for that shot at gold. But yeah, let's just assume the UFC isn't gonna fuck over Movsov though. So yeah, this though is looking like another Vault W. Yes, he did just beat Lerone Murphy, but man, he fucking looked pretty shit in that fight. And what was the fucking plan for that guy in the in the fight? He's known for being a wrestler, alright? So tell me why he didn't shoot a single takedown to like round three. And we should look at that, bro. He instantly gets it. So why he wasn't just doing that from round one and smudging the guy? I don't fucking know. But my point is, Mozart is actually he just seems to have fucking negative fight IQ. And that doesn't really help when you also have pillow hands, because he stays on the feet and yes, he was putting hands on Lerone, he was touching him, but he wasn't really fucking doing much. The most damage that Lerone took that fight was self-inflicted when he tore his hip or something. So I don't see him really doing shit to Volk on the feet, and I just think Volk's gonna pick him apart on the outside. And even if he does choose to use the grappling, I don't see Mozart having much success because if Islam couldn't sub Volk, I don't see this B-Tech Islam doing it either. So I think we're gonna be in for another 5 round vintage Volk masterclass, and yet another victim of the goat from down under. Now, lightweight is actually the only division with an announced title fight right now, with Ilya versus Justin at Freedom 250. So I'll be giving my full card predictions closer to the time, but I'll be going far out on a guess here and say Ilya's going to be the champion after this. So I'll just match him up with who he should be fighting after Freedom 250, and I think that's gonna have to be Arman Sarukian next. Okay, I mean the UFC cannot seem to book this guy because he's always off doing fucking random side quests or every fucking weekend he's fighting a retired pensioner at RAF. But yeah, I think Armin has paid for ruining him versus Islam now by beating Dan Hooker by sub and also then weighing as the backup fighter for Paddy versus Justin. So I think it's time the guy maybe gets a title shot. Okay. As for how the fight goes, oh man, I'm not actually sure really. The casual in me wants to be like, yeah man, Ilya Slime's in round one, but to be fair, it's not a crazy idea after we did see how we done Charles. And MMA math doesn't lie, Charles beat Arman, so surely, right? But Arman's fucking elite, He's some crazy stand up as well. We all saw that axe kick he threw against Charles in their fight, but Arman also has elite wrestling and grappling, so he's good at getting people down and just mauling them till he can sub them. And we saw him do that shit against Dan Hooker in their fight where he just kept taking him down, kept beating the shit out of him till he eventually latched up that sub and got him. But here's the thing: people forget sometimes that Ilya started as a wrestler slash grappler before he was a striker. I mean, we saw him pass the guard of Charles Oliveira with pretty much ease, and then come straight into that crucifix. Then showed that he could escape the leg lock as well. So we can even look further back. I'm pretty sure he hit like a crazy suplex or something in his debut. And what I'm saying is, Ilya's not just elite at taking people's souls, but also their fucking limbs. But yeah, I'm a fucking casual, bro. Ilias slimes this fuck out round one, easy peasy. Welterweight next, and again, there's a pretty clear contender on who should be up for the belt next. I I really don't get why so many of these fights haven't been made yet. That they're so obvious. It's the clear number one contenders, and the UFC just doesn't announce them. I get they don't want to give us everything, but bro, they can give us something. We're starving out here as fans. We're starving. But yeah, uh, I think Carlos Prates should be fighting for the belt in his next fight. But I think he's gonna have to wait first for Ian Gary to fight Islam Makhachev. I mean, Ian Gary is the clear fucking title fight next. He's number one ranked in the division. But let's real that doesn't match to the UFC. Okay, they'll book whatever the fuck they want. But rankings aside, Islam versus Ian is the obvious fight next. I mean, Makachev ducked Ilya at the White House, so he does need to fight someone. And for how this fight will go, oh, bro, this might be a hot take. I actually think Ian Gary wins this fight. Okay, to be honest, I don't think this is a hot take at all. Islam's game plan going into this will be take him down, control him, and hopefully go for a finish or do damage. Not just sit there and hug for 5 rounds again. Oh, moment of silence for our fucking fallen soldier, bro. but Gary looked good in his grappling and wrestling against Rakhmonov. I don't even fucking know. Bro, Shavkat is a lot bigger than Islam anyway. So I feel like if he was doing good there, the and also the guy's an 80% takedown defense, so there's that. But Ian's also a phenomenal striker. He's championship level distance management, so I don't see Islam actually getting many opportunities to take Gary down, which will leave him on the feet. And while Islam did cold our man Volk, that was a fluke. He was fattened off the couch, so I don't count that. So if Gary does prove to be able to stuff the takedowns, or get back up if he does get taken down without giving up the position, getting put in the dash or something, I think he's going to start putting together combos. And I think these combos are going to start to land. The thing is, though, I'm not sure he'll finish Islam because Gary, he's usually pretty content just landing and moving and winning the fight like that. This could leave him open to gassing in the last round, like we saw him did against Carlos Prates. And Islam might then be able to drag him down, snatch up a dash choke. But if that doesn't happen, I can see Gary beating Islam by decision. Hopefully, sending him back down to Ilya to, in the wise words of a casual, slime him out round one. Easy peasy. Moving up now to 185, Sean Strickland has regained the middleweight strap after putting up a generational performance against Khamzat Chimaev. And next up for him cannot be the rematch, okay? Not just yet. As much as I want to see what Sean does to the guy with two working shoulders, he just doesn't deserve the rematch just yet. He needs to go win one or two contender fights if he's staying at this weight, and then maybe he can have another shot. Okay, I, I'm sick of people saying that he should have the immediate rematch. Right? It was a clear victory. Yes, it was a close fight, but the round Strickland's won. That they were pretty clear. Okay, and the judges were just paid off, bro. That's why it was a split decision, right? Get the man back down there, and fight some contenders, okay? But yeah, so if not comes up, then who should be next? Well, I think we need to run back the Nazardine Imavov rematch. I mean, the guy was next in line, and he only got skipped over because Strickland already has a victory over him, so it made sense. But now Sean won, so he's the champ, and this rematch I think is the only logical option. I think this should be a Strickland W. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the guy does already have a win over him, and that was on short notice as well. So Sean also has some of the best striker defense in the UFC. So he should be able to control the stand up. And now that we've seen how he handles elite wrestling in Kamsa, I just don't see a Mavov being able to have more success than Chimaev. So I think we're gonna be in for another classic Sean jab and teep masterclass. I think this fight is gonna be more like the Fluffy Hernandez one as well, with him leading the stand up, teeping, jabbing, working the body, occasionally stuffing a takedown. Eventually, a Mavov will break, and Sean will find the TKO up against the fence, round four. Next up, we need to fix the mess up at light heavyweight, bro. Carlos Olberg managed to pull off the fluke of the fucking century, managing to KO Yuri Prohaska on one leg after his knee just blew up in the first round. Uh, Oh, bro, as much as I want to run the instant rematch here and see Yuri get another title shot, unfortunately, he's gonna need to go back to the drawing board. I've actually seen the idea of him cutting down to middleweight next and fighting DDP, which, to be honest, I don't hate that. But yeah, anyway, we wouldn't be able to run the rematch anytime soon anyway because Carlos is gonna need at least a year, I think, with that injury. So I think, unfortunately, as much as I hate them, we're gonna need to either have an interim title fight, or Carlos is gonna need to follow in the footsteps of the previous light heavyweight champs and vacate the title. I mean, Yuri did it. Not Carlos Solberg. Jamal Hill did it. So yeah. Now with the belt freed up, we're gonna have a vacant title fight. And looking at these rankings, this is actually kind of difficult. I swear to God, I'm looking at these fucking rankings, and basically everyone in the top seven is coming off of a loss. I mean, Magomed Ankalaev just lost to Alex. Yuri just got KO'd. Jan Blachowicz just drew to that bold fucker Bogdan Guskov. Khalil's last fight, he got fucked by Yuri. Jamil's last fight, he got fucked by Khalil. So really, there's like only one person coming off of a win that would kind of be suitable, and that's Paulo Costa, right? I mean, I really want to see this guy fight Kamzat though. When if Kamzat comes up, let him fight Paulo Costa at this weight. But then we can see him get folded by body kicks. But bro, I'm not letting Chimaev move up after losing the belt and get an instant title fucking fight. That cannot be happening. Instantly allowed to become double champ as well without working. So no, that ain't happening on my watch, buddy. Ain't happening on my watch. But the only logical opponent for Costa, I think, would have to be rank one Magomed Ankalaev. Okay, we'll give that guy another shot. But otherwise, we'd have to go down to always like rank fucking 9 to find someone else with a win. So yeah, I can totally see Costa winning this fight as well, man. I mean, Ankalaev, he's pretty much just a striker at this point as well, because we saw him shoot a load of times against Alex in their first fight, and he got him down 0 times. And then in their second fight, he shot a takedown, and well, let's just say it didn't end too well for him. So I don't see Ankalaev heavily pushing his grappling in this fight, and even so, Costa has good scrambles, man. He's the good ability to get up, and I just don't think there'll be much of a threat for him there. Meanwhile, on the feet, I feel like Costa will just keep drilling these body kicks. This will sap the energy of Ank until he's able to finish him, and I'm predicting a head kick highlight reel KO, alright? Because Paulo's crafty with these head kicks, because he throws high kicks just to set up a heavy body kick, which I think he will eventually switch up when Ank will start reaching to stop the body kick, and then I think he'll switch up, flush head kick to the head. I think this will either put Ank out completely, or it will drop him, and Costa will be able to follow up and finish him on the ground with some ground and pound. Last but not least, we have the heavyweight division. Now, this is actually going to be very simple because we already have an interim fight booked for next month, okay? Alex Pereira will be taking on Cyril Gahn in the co-main event of Freedom 250, courtesy of fucking Gahn trying to blind the champ, forcing him out, leading us to this fight. But anyway, like with Ilya versus Gaethje, I'm gonna give my brief prediction here on how that's gonna go, and then closer to the time, I'll give my full, more detailed breakdown on how I think it's gonna go. But anyway, now I love a good old revenge story, so there's a part of me that is rooting for Cyril Gahn to win, only so that we can see him versus Tom, and Tom can exact his fucking revenge. But but then I realized, I'm rooting for a fucking dirty cheat, and no, it's not. It's not like this the first time he's done some crazy shit as well either, because he literally tried to blind John Jones pretty much straight away in their fight, and he's also notorious for back of the head shots in his finishing sequences. So out of principle, and to be fair, okay, to be fair, backed by a good amount of logic, I'm going to say Alex wins this at the White House, which will then lead us into the next matchup of Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall. Now, this fight will be fucking massive, bro. Alex is going to be able to have the chance to become the first ever triple champ in UFC history, and Tom's coming back with a thirst for vengeance, and unfortunately for Alex, he just happens to be caught in the crossfire if he's the opponent. I mean, we've all seen the clip of Tom saying how he'd beat Alex Pereira by just running across the cage and rugby tackling him. But I'm not being funny. If it was that simple, why did Ankalaev struggle so much to even get him down once over 6 rounds they shared in the cage? Okay, I'm not sold on this magic fact that you just have to take Alex down to beat him. The narrative for his whole career has that he's been a menace on the feet, but get him down and it's GG. Do we really think the guy has not been working on this? Also, he's Brazilian, so does he like spawn in with extra stats in grappling or something like that? I don't know. I don't know. In fact, we saw Tom kind of go for a takedown in a brief moment against Ghana in their fight, and all I'm saying is he ain't getting Alex for that shit. No, sir. I just feel like this fight is gonna come down to who can chin who first, and unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to go with Alex here as well because I mean the script writes itself, man. The UFC he joined nearly 5 years ago, and he's already gonna be remembered for centuries, man. Already a double champ, and I just feel like he's gonna make history and become triple champ. Tom got bloodied up pretty early on by Garn in their fight, which I mean it was still the first round, so it doesn't matter that much. But and some people do bleed easier, but even so, it's a good indicator on how the fight would have gone maybe. But I think Alex is going to be able to find his range, and I think eventually he's gonna find that hook, and it is going to put Tom's career to bed. I really do feel bad for Tom as well, because he got stalled out by John Jones waiting around for him for ages. And then in his comeback fight against Guard, the fucking guy uses his head as a bowling ball, which has now put him out for like another year. Maybe more though. We don't even know when he's coming back. But anyway, I think I'm going to have to choose Alex. It just seems destined to get that third belt. Alex by fucking vicious hook. TKO, KO, flatline. Who fucking knows, bro? It's heavyweight. Maybe Tom just blobs him as well. Actually, I don't know, but Alex might win, I think. And yeah, that's how you fix the entire UFC Championship matchmaking from flyweight to heavyweight. I've laid out the blueprint of what should be next. Okay, Dana, hit me up for them royalties for these fights, all right? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these fights actually get made because I don't think they're that outlandish though. But anyway, where the fuck are all the UFC champs right now? That's about it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment saying who you think should get the next title shot, and yeah, cheers.